Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the return. Yay, the return. I don't have to do a right for reissue tirade of the Beethoven Piano Trios with Trio Wanderer on Harmonia Mundi, now coupled with their excellent recording of the Triple Concerto with the Gerstenich Orchestra and James Conlon. A ripe, rich, rosy, somewhat leisurely, but really beautiful performance of the Triple Concerto. So yeah, it's like lots of trio stuff, right? On 5 discs and in a nice box. And boy, I mean, like, why was this not available for forever? You know, you got to ask the question. But it's back. It's back. I'm thrilled. I'm happy. They're gorgeous performance. I mean, Trio Wanderer really was or is, I don't know what they're doing now, but in the past couple of decades, the trio to beat. They're just a fantastic group. I mean, their Schubert was great. Their Shostakovich was great. Just everything they did was really terrific. And their Beethoven was astounding because, as you may know, Beethoven's piano trios are the core, the standard of the piano trio repertoire. I mean, he wrote a batch of them. Well, let's go through this just for fun. I mean, most of you, I'm sure, know some of the big ones, like the Archduke, which was the last of them. But let's just go one at a time, because there's some very interesting things. The only thing that keeps Beethoven trios from being as admired, I think, as the string quartets is that there are no late trios, like there were late quartets. He gave up piano trio writing because Beethoven basically gave up piano things as he got older, except for the late sonatas. But piano chamber music and stuff like that, he wasn't performing. And so, he was deaf. And so I guess it made little sense for him to write, ensemble music with piano. I don't know the exact reason. That's a rank speculation that doesn't make a lot of sense, but, it's a speculation. Anyway, so we have 3 trios, Opus 1. Remember, Beethoven's Opus 1, the first batch of works he published or felt worthy of publication with an opus number were piano trios. And the reason he probably did piano trios is because there wasn't a lot of competition. I mean, Haydn's piano trios are magnificent, absolutely fabulous, but they were not piano trios in the modern sense. They were accompanied sonatas, where the cello didn't have much of an independent bass line. Mozart's 6 trios are wonderful trios, but weren't all that well known. Even Beethoven's day, they're not all that well known now. Mozart's great works in the chamber field were like, wind partitas and string quartets and quintets and those kinds of things. The piano trios don't get a lot of play. So Beethoven had the field to himself, and Beethoven was nothing if not paranoid, nervous, and suspicious and crazy. And he wanted to make a statement, and he did with these Opus 1 piano trios. I mean, think of Opus 1 number 3, his first major piece in C minor, his personal minor key. Yay! The key of the 3rd Piano Concerto, the 5th Symphony, the Pathetique Sonata, we're talking like, echt Beethoven. So we get the 3 piano concertos, Opus 1, piano concertos, piano trios. Whenever I say concerto, just substitute the word trio, okay? If I keep doing that, and I apologize. Then we have Piano Trio number 4 in B flat, of course, which ends with a lovely theme and variations finale on the tune Pria Kyo Impegno. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to impen yourself too much, right? And then there's these wonderful theme and variation pieces for piano trios. Some of these are just marvelous, and they're large. They're large pieces. This one on Ja, ich muss mich von ihr scheiden, which means I've got to get away from you, essentially, is 12 minutes long. So that's lovely. And then we are already on disc number 3, where we have the Ghost Trio. Ooh, the Ghost Trio, named for its spooky middle ghosty movement, which is really rather cool. And then we've got number 6, which is just a nice big fat work. It's the other Opus 70 trio. Opus 70, number 1 is the Ghost. Number 2 is number 2. That's all it is. It's number 2. And then we've got, disc 4. 4 gives us the Archduke, which is trio number 7. I always used to confuse the Archduke with the first Razumovsky quartet, because they have very similar opening themes. You know, the Razumovsky is ya da 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 da, ya da 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 ba boom ba da, and the Archduke is ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da. And that's how you sort of know you're in middle period Beethoven, because he writes like chamber music that begins with like that similar kind of tune. But of course, it's an amazing work. And then we've got the Kakadu variations. Ich bin der Schneider Kakadu. I am the tailor Kakadu. That's a 16-minute set of variations. It's a major work, and it's quite popular among chamber music and piano trio aficionados, both of them. Anyway, and then we've got, let's see what else we got. Some piano trios without opus number, you know, early things and bitlet things and some stuff like that. And so that's the trios. And then you've got a separate disc here with the triple concerto. And wow, I mean, what's not to love? It's just fantastic stuff. I love these performances. I really, really do. I mean, since every trio in the world does the Beethoven Trios, I mean, it's the core of their repertoire. There are many, 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 many wonderful sets of Beethoven piano trios. Some by regularly constituted piano trios, like these guys, and some by just, you know, three fabulous soloists who they all get together and do the Beethoven Trios. So it's really kind of impossible to make crazy recommendations, you know, to make recommendations, crazy or not, about, you know, what the best Beethoven piano trios are, because there's so many that are just wonderful. I mean, they really are. I mean, there's no shortage of great performances. And, you know, I can't do like a repertoire Beethoven piano trio talk, because what are you going to pick? You know, I mean, you have to get thousands of them, and then, you know, they're all really good. But these are really, really, really good. Marvelous performances that will delight you. And to have the triple concerto, you get all of Beethoven's piano trio music in a handy box at a reasonable price. And you know, I mean, the packaging really matters nowadays, because so much of it is crap. This is really good stuff, quality stuff. It's a class act. And so I recommend it accordingly. Keep on listening, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care.